Good day, everybody. Matthew from Captive Audience Comics here with another CGC unboxing. So we've been waiting on our boxes of magazines to come back from CGC. Magazines they always take longer. There was a time where CGC couldn't get, they didn't have cases for a while. They had problems processing. That's gotten better. They still take longer than our standard modern submission, but we finally got our magazine size submission back. So we're going to go through what we got back. Everything was pretty close to where we thought it was. I think everything was at or slightly higher than our expectations. There were a couple of anomalies that we'll talk about when we get to them, and I'll offer an opinion on whether or not I believe CGC on some of these and share some experiences that we've had in the past. So let's get to it here. So first up we have Raphael #1 from 1985 Mirage Studios. This is the micro series in a 9.2. You're gonna see a lot of turtles in here. I won't out the owner for all the turtle stuff, but I think if you're a regular watcher of our channel, you will know who they are. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #3 in a 9.2. Oh, hold on. Let me just quickly take a quick peek. The one thing we haven't had a lot of issues with the magazines is the magazine cases tend to not have the problems that the regular cases do. I'm assuming because the acrylic is a little bit thicker, so we'll take a quick peek and we'll check and see if obviously we see any micro damage. Obviously, if there's any major damage, we just send them back on your behalf and we take care of that. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #4 in a 9.2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, oh yeah, this one was the one that was, yeah, we knew this was a lower grade. It had like a little stain on it, but in an 8.5. It's hard to see, but there's some discoloration right in there. It had some small stains on it, and it had some creases that wouldn't come all the way out. Yeah, there's some yellowing on the back. You can kind of see this discoloration through here. So this is the one that had staining. We expected that one to be a lower grade. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2. First appearance of April O'Neil in a 9.4. Now here's one of the ones where I don't necessarily believe them, but whatever. We'll see. So this one, restored 9.2. So restoration includes small amount of color touch on cover. Now I will tell you in my experience, when the color touch is more obvious or it's apparent, okay, they will say color touch on cover right side, color touch on cover bottom left corner. I've seen quite a few comics come in where they just say small amount of color touch on cover. Won't tell you where it is. The notes won't tell you where it is. High-res photos of the uploaded book won't tell you where it is. But if you send this book back to CCS and say restoration removal, magically CCS can find it from CGC exactly where that color touch is and remove it. But you, as the owner, cannot. I think this is probably one of the biggest unwritten, I don't know if I want to go as far as to call it a scam, but I would say it's a conflict of interest, where you will share the information required to fix a problem with your internal company, but will not share it with the owner. Because this book has blatant color breaks in the cover. You're telling me somebody put a color touch spot over here in the middle of the cover, some random place, but didn't fill in the blatant color breaks over here? And every single one of these that we've broken open where they don't tell you whereabouts on the cover it is. And we're pretty good at spotting color touch using a combination of high intensity LEDs, ultraviolet light. We look for differences in reflectivity of the paper, where the ink was, and ink density, and all that. No. We have found spots where there's been like a spot of printer's ink, like a heavier spot of printer's ink from the printing process, and I'm almost certain that's what they're flagging as color touch, which is basically an ink misprint. So that's our pet peeve on CGC. They should always release to the customer where the issue is. Then leave it up to the customer to decide. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, third print in an 8. And again, this had a fair amount of color breaks in the black. You can actually see there's some pretty, oh, maybe that's hard to see. Show you, see if we can show you on here. There you go. Yeah, you can see all those color breaks in the back. I promise this whole submission isn't all turtles, but it is mostly turtles. Alright, I don't know why this bag is not cooperating. There we go. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles magazine, the actual magazine, #9 in a 9.4. And actually, I think these are pretty cool, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles magazines, because this is where they really went to these really bright, intense colors, which really made them pop. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, this is the Raphael. Yeah, this was the one that was a 6. We thought it would be a 6.5, but we're not surprised. You take a look at that spine. Hold on, I'll take it out of the bag for you guys. If you take a look at the spine, you can see the entire spine is like just a collection of zebra stripes through the whole thing. You know, top edge. So all sorts of color breaks and stuff all along here. And the back is you know, it's what you would expect, right? The color breaks all the way along. All of that, okay? So we certainly were not expecting a higher grade on this. Now, this is the second book that again came back as small amount of color touch on cover. This one's even worse. It doesn't even say if it's the front cover or the back cover. Actually, did the other one specify front cover? Hold on, let me take a quick look. Nope, just cover. They're not even telling us if it's on the front or the back. Who color touches a 7.5 with color breaks all over it? Nobody. Nobody does that. You know who does that? Little children do that, and they do that with Sharpies and markers and crayon where you can't possibly miss it. No one's doing professional, you know, acrylic blended matching paint colors on your 7.5 Raphael #1. So we'll leave it up to the customer what they want to do. It's probably best just to crack that book and keep it raw in your personal collection. Okay, so here's a cool book. I told you they weren't all turtles. So, Marvel Previews #7, first appearance of Rocket Raccoon. Now, it's funny because he actually wasn't called Rocket Raccoon in this book. I think he was called Roger Raccoon or Rodney. Anyways, it wasn't Rocket, but it's the exact same character. You look at the pictures and everything, and then the next time he appears, he's been rebranded. Okay, but that's a pretty cool book. Satana and Sword in the Stone stories. Another very cool book. So, Stephen King's Creepshow, no number. Now, this is an 1982, sort of like homage to the old school horror. Now, this particular book It has some color chipping on the edges, and it has a little bit of color rub in there in the blue on the spine. It's hard to see, but in there. Beautiful looking book. I think I think we had this at an 8.5. Oh yeah, and then it's got this edge. There's a fair amount of edge wear across there, but still a great looking book. A Captain Britain number 8 and a 9.4. So, first appearance of Elizabeth Betsy Braddock, who later becomes Psylocke. Okay. Now, if you've ever had a chance to feel one of these books, this book is newsprint. The whole thing. The cover is newsprint. It's not even like paper stock or anything. It literally is just newsprint from like the Sunday Funnies newsprint. And it's so sensitive to cleaning. If you look at this funny, color rubs off of it. Okay, it's like zero protection. So we've done a few of these, and because the newsprint is so, the pores are so wide, stuff like this happens where the actual paper itself gets stained. I'm going to show you on this edge here. See this discoloration right in here? That's after dry cleaning. Like there was way worse, but that's like embedded into the paper, and you're not getting that out with dry cleaning. You probably wouldn't even get it with chemical treatments because the paper is like literally so porous. The paper would probably fall apart. Plus, because this paper is so everything sticks to it, you can see these black lines in here all the way through. That's just printer ink from the production process. It just gets all over the paper. So it's very hard to get these in super high grade. I mean, a 9.4 is a great grade. I think I've only ever seen one higher copy. I think it was a 9.6. I don't think I've ever seen a 9.8. I'm sure they exist. Someone's got one somewhere. Back to Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 6 in a 9.4. We'll leave that one as a special one. We'll leave those ones for the end. A little set for somebody. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3 in a 9.6. It's a nice book. Now you might be asking yourself, how do you know whose book is whose? If you have more than one book in the same submission, well, usually they're the same person putting in multiples, but we do occasionally have people where more than one customer is submitting the same book in the same submission. And the way that we handle that is every book, unless it's a 9.8, a book will have flaws that leave a fingerprint. So it might have certain color breaks around the price box, or might have a certain type of defect. What doesn't really matter, something like that. What we do is we take a photo of that before we log it in. We rename that photo with the customer's name and the book. We save it in our CGC file with the submission, so that if they come back and we think they're going to be similar grades, we can cross-reference those flaws with the book and make sure we match it up. Now, typically, they're not. Normally, it's like one guy's got a 9.4 and one guy's got an 8. It's usually pretty apparent that they're not going to be the same. But that's how we handle it. I did read a post where somebody was, he got scammed by a disreputable company in the States that was like, they were intentionally putting books of the same type from different customers together, and then taking the best ones for themselves. It was a big deal. You can look it up on the internet if you really want to find out. First Comics graphic novel number 10, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book 2 in a 7.5. Now this one, problem with this book was it had a crunchy corner. So you can see it's all this, how broken up it was. It was before we worked on it, it was like crunched and winged and everything. So we got it smooth, but can't hide that kind of damage. and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2 in a 9.6. Now, last 3 books are a couple of nice books. Okay, so we have a Vampire Tales #2 in a 6.5. This is the first appearance of Satana. It's that classic old Marvel monster logo, and just that the old painted style covers. I really like these old covers. And a Vampirella #2 in an 8. First appearance, cousin Beverly, whoever that is, and just those classic covers. And then a nice Vampirella #1 first print in a 6.5. So origin and first appearance of Vampirella. This book is just show you some of the bigger flaws. So what this had was, obviously it's got fairly long color breaks that wrap right around the spine, all the way along here. Okay, and I'll see if I can get it so that you guys can see it here. Staple tears. Yeah, you can kind of see it. The paper is torn around the top edge of the staple. The cover was probably handled poorly in the past. So you get staple wear and staple tears. In the back, you can see it's got quite a few color breaks all the way around, but still, I mean, this is still a really nice looking copy. I mean, we could all stand to have a nice Vampirella #1 in our collection. So that's all the magazines that we came back. It's 20 magazines, which apparently is a full box. I thought, well, I guess because the books are bigger, they can only fit 20 in a box. If any of these books are yours, we will be letting you know that we have them, so that you can arrange pickup, especially Mr. Turtles, so he can grab his books. We will be having this coming Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's the 9th. We are going to be doing a live unboxing claim sale from a collection we bought. We bought a collection of books, and we had a bunch of, we'll call them, low-value slabs, okay? We're going to have a live preview. We're going to take them out of the box one at a time. We're going to take live claims online. We're going to be doing this on our YouTube channel, and we'll be doing a giveaway. So somebody who's watching and is also a follower will win a book. We'll probably pull an exclusive or something, or we'll give them the choice of a couple exclusives or variants or whatever they want. And if they're in North America, we'll ship it to them for free. If somebody is in elsewhere around the world, probably what we'll do is we'll give them some credit, in our online store, so that they can use that towards something. Obviously, the international shipping sometimes can be pricey. We got pretty decent rates in North America. It gets exponentially expensive the farther away it goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video tonight. I would like to do these live in the future, if possible. But as many of you know, I have 2 children, and sometimes those kids just show up in the middle of videos. And if I'm recording it and I can edit it, then it's not a big deal. But you have to watch out for those live streams. So make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram, and please give us a follow on YouTube. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers before we can even apply for monetization on the YouTube channel. So we'd like to get there hopefully as quickly as we can. So I appreciate all the support, guys, and we'll be in touch. Ciao.